Hey, what's up guys? No Nonsense Know-How here again, and welcome to a late night Will It Run video. This is going to be on a Clark forklift. All I know is that the previous owners left it here, and a guy that I'm friends with was told, hey, go ahead and scrap it, and he gave me a call and was like, maybe you can get it running, because apparently it hasn't ran in several years. And we're gonna just kind of do a walk around here, take a look at a few things. It looks like it's in really nice condition, like it was used in a warehouse. I mean, geez, this had to have run not that long ago. He said they did have a couple of their guys look at it, and so some people had their hands on it already, but nobody could get it running, and they ended up getting a new forklift. This is a big forklift too. Some damage on these tires, but it's no big deal. Plenty of meat. This you know, they're airless. Missing the propane tank. These are our tag number. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's a model C500-155 from Georgetown, Kentucky. It's LPG. It has a lift capacity with forks of 13,475 pounds. We've got a key. You got oil pressure, water temp, 2,900 hours on it, and there's our ammeter. This thing, it seems like, I know I already said this, but it seems like it's in really nice shape. And yeah, this would definitely be a shame to scrap it. Good amount of play in that steering wheel. By the way, I don't know anything about forklifts, so just kind of tear right into it. It's got an inline 6. There's the LPG diaphragm, I guess. I'm not sure. This boot is off of here. Got some nuts and bolts. But you guys are kind of just learning about this as I learn about it. I mean, that's really what this video is. I don't think it's going to be any. It's LPG. I wonder what's up with this tank. Oh, it's probably hydraulic fluid. Okay, yeah. Connective. Maybe that's a company that had it before. Do we have a hose? Yeah, we do. Right, so we have a propane hose. Looks like somebody was tugging it around with this. Trying to move it on quick here, because it is late night. I forget if I told you the time, but we are approaching midnight. Look at that paint difference. It's definitely been outside for a good amount of its life. You got hazed out and then nice gloss finish. No battery, but clean access to the cables. And oh shoot, that's heavy. Ow, I just pinched myself really bad right there. Okay, that's all right. This is the rad. Let's see what we got. We're missing a cap, but we got nice fresh green coolant up top. The rad fin spins. It's on a bearing. Of course, we got no belt. So, there's the belt right here. This is the water pump down here. Okay, and this is an oily pig. She is covered in crud. This is a Ford inline 6. It's a model CSG 6491-6007ZA. So I don't know what that means, but it's a big inline 6. Takes 8 quarts of oil. Let's check that real quick. Yeah, it's ½ inch below the safe, which is plenty safe. What's this? This is our hydraulic oil, probably, right? Yeah, that is definitely the hydraulic tank on this side. This looks like a park and brake. Same one on my military trailer. That's just seized up though. This should rotate to adjust the tension. Gas pedals good. These pedals are locked together. Well, I'm not sure exactly where to start, because when you have parts off and missing and there's belts hanging, like another mechanic may have been in here, you don't really know. You know, the intake, that's what this nut is probably. It goes up on here for the intake. You don't know. You don't know what's going on. So maybe we'll just throw a battery on it and see if it cranks. Let's start with that. Here's our ground, because that goes right to the case. Got nothing. Positive cable goes to a switch. There it is. Oh, all right. hear some kind of solenoid or something engaging when I hit that. There's our main battery switch. Now we got gauges. Power to the gauges, and here goes the little crank. Nothing. Nothing when we crank it. What's up with that? Oh, all right. That was something. Let's listen. Here we go. Ooh. That sounds like a really weak crank. Doesn't sound like a ton of compression. We'll go ahead and give her a shot of ether. Intake boot's already off, like somebody's been doing this. And another crank. Well, geez. I'm gonna call that a runner. Although we don't have propane, but there's another forklift over here. Maybe we'll just borrow this propane tank real quick. This guy's same property. I don't think he'll mind. Lefty Lucy. Ooh. There's not much in there. Somebody had welded this onto the massive, I guess, cast iron plate in the back, and all this broke right off. I assume it's cast anyway. Kind of shocking they don't just fill these with concrete in the back. I guess this is a lot more dense though, right? Before I fire this valve up, I was just looking at the hose, and that's pretty chafed up, but it doesn't seem it could be leaking. Let's fire it up. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hose runs down. Yeah, well, that makes sense. Where the heck does it go though? This is what the problem is. When somebody else messes with something and you don't know what they touched, well, again, this is the propane, I call it a diaphragm, but you know, metering valve we'll call it. This looks like what probably gets 12 volts, so this would be the, and look at that. All right, so I just gotta connect these. Now fast forwarding some here, I tried connecting these in. You can see it's no bueno. We got 1/4 inch MPT, and then what is that, maybe 3/8 or 1/2 inch flare. And then I looked all over and I'm thinking it's just an adapter somebody took off, but I couldn't find it. I had to run home and grab some fittings. So let's try to make that work. We're gonna go with flare to 3/8, and then we're gonna adapt it down the 1/4 inch. Should definitely throw Teflon on this too, but I'm gonna skip that for now. And then just snug down the flare. Now let's crank our valve on. Oh, all right, we're still leaking out the top here now. It's just a loose fitting up here too. Let's try that again, wasting all this guy's propane. All right, we're still leaking. Where are we leaking now? Oh, right here. Oof, that's a bad leak. If I flex it though, it goes away. Got that kinked up. Let's fire up this valve now. And we're leaking down here as well. Jeez. I have bypassed all that jazz, and now we're right from the tank to the solenoid. But look at this. The solenoid itself is leaking. Not the threads up top, but the solenoid. And we're gonna bypass that now. So far we need a couple hoses and a solenoid. We have no leaks now. All right. No propane leaks. After messing around with this, I'm gonna have to go with the fact that the motor is blown. Listen to the crank on this. I don't have a compression gauge, but it's about sounding healthy. Won't even start on starting fluid right now, and we have a strong spark. I checked that too, but it's just whether we're getting propane flow or not, this motor is whooped. Well, here we are next night. I just popped out all 6 spark plugs, and if you can see in that hole, what would that be? Cylinder number 2, I suppose. But anyway, the second one in from the left, all the way left. See how it's all gray? Well, 3 of the cylinders look super gray and lean like that, and then this number 1, you probably can't see with the camera, but it's a little sooty in there. Not a good sign. We're gonna do a compression check. I wanted to show you these spark plugs though. Hopefully I can get you focused on here. Yeah, well, this is probably the worst of the bunch. There we go, good image for you. Yeah, not good when the electrode gap is just linked together like that. Not gonna get a nice spark when you see that. The rest actually look half decent. We're gonna clean these up and do a compression check, and that's where we're at. Oh, 60 PSI on number 1. Not good. You got 110, 50, 50, 60, and 110. All right, well, not good numbers, but this thing could just need some valve lash. I don't know if this has hydraulic lifters or not. Let's shoot some oil in the cylinders too. Clean the spark plugs up, throw them back in. And with those all back in, let's see what we got. Let's try to move it a little bit. Like new. That's a wrap on that tonight. Try and get a buyer lined up. Check on little Gus over here. Oh, there you are on your driver's seat. What are you doing? You ready to go for a walk, huh? Well guys, next day, and here's where the story goes. The forklift we were working on last night, I ended up finding a buyer for that, and kind of the payment for my services is this 6B53 Detroit that you might remember from the C70, Susie was her name, video, the runaway diesel. This is all that's left of that truck, so the rest of it has all been scrapped. This was the cutout for the sleeper and such. But yeah, we're gonna, our payment was this awesome motor, and we're gonna get this home and, I don't know, do something with it. We'll see. Got her back home safely, and I'm sitting here thinking, I don't even know if my tractor can lift this on out of here. We got to pull the trans off anyway. If you guys remember, the clutch was wiped on it, wasn't grabbing. I mean, we would want to put one in anyway, so that'll lighten up the load a little bit. But not going to tear into this today because I'm actually getting ready for a trip out to Vegas to go buy a Gran Torino sight unseen. That should be an interesting good time. But the main point is that we have this in our possession now, and we will do something with it. Suppose first step will be pressure washing it and cleaning all this crud off. Find out what kind of transmission this is. Ooh, that's almost like an undercoating on there. And then yeah, we'll go from there. Too nice a day to mess with the old two-stroke, so we're gonna take the C-Ray out and go enjoy the beautiful weather. Gus coming out for a ride on the water and get to see some people. Yeah, he's such a good boy. Get your mommy, Gus. Go get your mommy.
Puppy! Hi! I missed you so much. No.
Come on, Gussie.
Where'd she park? I mean, he eats everything. Cat food, give him squirrel food.
Well, Gus's brother has showed up. What's up, buddy? Tucker's his name. Those two will be fighting all day.
Oh my god, he's so little.
Yeah, he's the runt for sure.
How big will they get?
They're supposed to, well, they should double in size.
Double?
He's only 6 pounds. He should get to at least 10 or 11. And his brother Tucker eats a lot.
I will jump in after him.
Yeah, right?
Well, yeah, they should be.
You getting sleepy?
You handle wieners well. Can you
Go get him.
All right, Gus. Time to go pee-pee. Come on. What are you doing?
All the kids love the puppies.
You gotta
They
get some
all
lights
love
for them so
them.
people see them and they'll stop.
Oh, like the light power.
You got them today,
Oh, yeah.
right? I don't know if you can read that, but this is a Dana Spicer 5752C. I was just looking it up. It's a heavy-duty 5-speed transmission. Originally, I thought it was just a shifter that broke off this, but it seems there might be some internal damage that happened as well. Let's pop this cover off. Let's see what we got. Oh yeah, broke it internally here too. I figured without the transmission, might have a chance of lifting it with the John Deere, but not the case. These hoses are all so dry. Look at this, just brittle as can be. Originally, when we were trying to put this in gear, the clutch wasn't grabbing, and I don't know, I can't see this clutch not grabbing. This thing is extremely heavy duty. It even has a safety cap on one of these, the 3 nuts. It says, for your protection. It's sealed, because if you take those off, these springs are probably really strong. This has got, different than the normal clutch you'd see in a car. It's just got compression springs. And since this does have a hydraulic clutch, that probably wasn't even pumped up. And maybe the shifter was broken to begin with. It was never even going in gear. It's possible. Let's fire this thing up now. As we learned in the C70 video, anytime these sit for a long period of time, you should always take the valve covers off and check that the racks are free so you don't have a runaway diesel. Of course, this one hasn't been sitting for too long, so they are free. Got the feed and return lines in a bucket of diesel, block of wood in case it runs away, and the emergency shut-off flapper is right here. Probably some air in the system. Oh, and we're leaking a lot of oil. That's coming out of this line right here, and that is just the worst kind of oil you could ever get on your driveway. Nasty, black, sooty diesel oil. I don't see anywhere else this hose would go immediately, so I just hooked an oil pressure gauge on it, assuming it goes to the oil pressure gauge. Oh, I did want to show you guys the emergency shutoff valve flappers on there, since I don't think I displayed that too well in the other video. But you pull this and that snaps that little guy down, and you got to manually reset it by pushing this. You push them up, lock it out, and then boom, that's what it looks like. Let's try it out. Shuts it right off. I made sure to lube that shaft in there too, because it wasn't working. It was kind of sticky before, but I held it half throttle, quarter throttle, whatever, pulled it, shut it right down. Gotta love mechanical shutdown, the best. I'm having a hard time moving this anywhere with this uneven driveway, but I was just looking it up. 1,700 pounds dry this weighs, which is, I can't believe I was even trying to move it with the tractor. I mean, we're plenty within range at the 1 ton mark on here, but geez, I just want to kind of get it over there, throw a cover on it, and revisit it in the future. And would you look at that? Oh, we're not going to be rolling anywhere. This was good pay for messing around with the forklift, and all I did was have to get it running and lined up a buyer, and this was my payment. You know, I would like to find something to swap this into, an old Chevy truck, but I don't see that happening in the near future. So for now, it's gonna just sit here with a cover in my way. I probably should have just kept the forklift, and then I could have been able to move this a little bit easier instead of having to shove it around. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys, and I hope to see you in future videos. If you have any suggestions for videos, feel free to drop those down below, or I'm gonna start peppering this in videos where if you know of a vehicle that's been sitting for a long time, could be like a super interesting will it run, kind of just looking for unique stuff, but let me know. Shoot me a message. My email's in the about section of the channel page, or you can find me on Facebook or Instagram under the same handle. And yeah, I guess we'll close it out with Gus. He's taking a nap over on the deck. I think I just woke him up. He's taking your sunny little nap, huh? Yeah. He can only be on this deck when it's in the 70s, because if it's 90 degrees out, it gets scorching hot, but right now it's fine. All right, guys, I'll see you in a future video.